Originally, the rescue team met in the basement of the police station. The police department needed the space for their own needs, so we were kicked across the street to the basement of the fire hall. They needed the space for a training and fitness center for the firemen, so then we were sent to the city works yard, where we were allowed to put a trailer, an ATCO trailer, on the blocks.
And that was our dry storage for our equipment. But that was in the time where Tim came on board, and he literally filled that ATCO trailer from floor to ceiling.
And then, of course, the team cabin went up there, and I was just amazed at this cabin that they had out in the middle of the wilderness of Seymour.
The Seymour cabin came into play, and that opportunity arose when the owner couldn't maintain it. I managed to maneuver it into our custody and control, so we had a training base and what I called a mixing zone. So the families could go to the cabin during the day, meet other family members, so they would get to know people. And that makes the team stronger because now we have a reliance built on each other. That's not explained, not discussed, but you just know damn well when that person shows up on a call, we're better off.
Fast forward a couple of years and negotiated our way out of the Brickco into an actual bay of the City Works yard. It wasn't much bigger than the Brickco, but it had heat, it had a bathroom, it had those things.
And we lived there until the city was moving their works yard to this location on Bewick Avenue. At that point, we managed to get ourselves involved, and through the contribution of 3 municipalities and an agreement, we now have the embassy, as I call it, originally known as the Embassy, now known as the Tim Jones Resource Center.
Over time, we recognized that we needed a space that we could train, that was out of the weather, that we could have our equipment where it could be dry, and we would be able to set up different rope rescue scenarios inside.
People can raise and lower stretchers, practice jummaring, rappelling, and all kinds of things right in the building. You want to wash or clean equipment. You want to repair equipment. It's all done in this building.
There's a central training facility and an area to park our vehicles, command office, boardrooms, and just basically had to develop those areas to keep the team moving forward with the amount of call volume that we had.
We've got rescue caches placed all throughout the North Shore Mountains. Even have a cache as far up at the top of Indian Arm.
We put in a lot of caches and whatnot because if we did find somebody that needed to be stretchered out, then we would have to carry ropes and stretchers and everything in before we could even get them packaged and start to evacuate them. And then we also have places where people get stuck, and because of avalanche conditions, we can't get in to rescue them, where they can crawl in. It's a big pipe that's 7 feet above the ground, and they would be able to get in there and find shelter.
There's signs that say stay put, call 911 on these shelters. The landscape is such that it tends to funnel people into the rivers and into the gullies where people normally do that. They don't sort of stay high on the ridges.
And people get funneled into these gullies and they always want to go downhill, which is probably the worst thing to do on a local North Shore Mountains. If you go up, people will know where you are. If you go downhill, you're in the watershed. So we found by putting escape trails in that they can actually follow our trail down to one of our emergency caches or out to a road.
Then there was the idea of remote SAR stations, and a lot of the call volume was in our local ski areas, summer, winter, so the idea of setting up SAR stations at the local ski hills came to fruition.
All the equipment is there, radios are there, so we don't need to bring the trucks up. Just as a search manager, I drive up, open up the building, turn on the lights, and we have a fully set up search base ready to go.
And now, instead of having everybody waiting for a truck to show up, they can just drive straight up to the SAR station, get the equipment out. We've got radios there. Pretty well everything we need for a rescue in that location.
Each base is replicated. Each base has rope rescue equipment, for example, and so we're talking. It's really a vast amount of equipment.
It gives us a base to return to and regroup, rejig the plan, get more equipment if needed. So having these remote SAR stations, we can respond from our homes or wherever we are to that SAR station and then be deployed from there.
Search and rescue stations also provided us with a space for training.
He's getting a little bit worse, even though we're warming him up.
Another piece that we had was Capgate was in dire need of replacement as well. In 2017, I received a phone call from an individual that wanted to donate to North Shore Rescue, and he wanted something that would provide him with a legacy that would be used, that would really benefit the community. And the timing was just perfect because our Capgate station needed to be replaced. We knew that it was on Metro lands and they were going to be doing some work in that area, so we talked to them about building a new station. And the rest is history. We're sitting in the station now. This is a more respectful place for people to operate out of. When you're done the call, you can come back and you can debrief in a place that's comfortable. You can have some food together and just decompress.
The need for a helicopter base emerged because we had not had a legal space to recurringly land. Now that we're the only team in Canada licensed to operate 24/7, that we have a base in the watershed at Cleveland Dam, where the building donated primarily by Arnold Wollner and others, we have a legal landing spot for the helicopter operations group.
There has been a big evolution, and I think it really comes down to the relationships that we've built with the community and with our partner agencies that have allowed us to really progress.